energy. Managing millions of distributed transactions is simply not possible without AI. So, however, the biggest challenge in Thailand is not just about technology, it's its structure. I would say that we see three challenges in Thailand. The first is legacy infrastructure. The desire for one very powerful. Another one is regulatory and market constraints that can slow innovation. And the last one is about data fragmentation. Where data exists, it is not yet fully integrated. That's why this is where AI becomes critical for this. AI enables to move toward concepts like virtual power plants, we say that, or VPPs, and supports better forecasting, planning, and regulatory innovations. Okay. So, in short, the biggest impact today is not just only in producing more energy, but it's just making the system smarter, more flexible, and more efficient.
Professor Akira and Dr. Kato, this is not in the script actually, but in my experience, when we talk about the AI, so a lot of or much of data we have to collect, especially for the training process of AI. So do you have experience of this one to collect the data, and in Japan how to solve this problem to collect the data for training AI process?
I think important point is open data and closed data. We can use open data everywhere, but closed data is very the private company has to protect.
Okay.
Yeah, very difficult. So the collaboration is, for example, the manufacturing process. It's very difficult to get obtained from the company because that data is treasure for the company. So in that case, it's a close collaboration with company is very important, and the data inside the company and user inside of information is very important. So close collaboration is inside company's data is very important in that point. So open data is key area.
Do you have any experience?
I completely agree. The industry data is a treasure. It's a trove of advantages many of the Japanese companies have, and some of the companies here in Thailand as well. So if there's a way to anonymize some of these data and share it with each other so that it's even bigger data, then I think we can, that could be one area we can cooperate to.
Okay, thank you very much. So we move to the second questions. It is to Dr. Kato. Actually, it's two questions consecutively. The first one is, given Asia high urban density and rapid smart city development, how can AI-driven energy system be embedded into urban planning? And the second question is, Japan has long been a leader in energy efficiency and smart energy management. How is AI shaping the next generations of energy system in Japan, and what lessons from Japan experience could be relevant for our country pursuing the energy transition?
Thank you, Chairman. And I think it's clear that AI will be used across many different areas, including energy system and, of course, smart cities. And in that sense, the question is not whether AI will be part of our plan, but how it can realistically be integrated in the system. And if we are talking about developing a new smart city, it's relatively easy to plan for AI to integrate the city. From the early planning stage, AI can be used to provide renewable energy and improve energy efficiency for the city. But the more difficult question is how to transform apply to existing cities. Because this is much challenging and the answer really depends on the individual city. Take transportation is an example. Even if we already have AI technology for autonomous driving and traffic control, they won't work unless they fit the actual road networks and urban areas that already exist. The same approach to energy system. AI-based energy management has to work with existing grid, including infrastructure, not in isolation. That is very difficult. So we can apply AI into new city. It is very relatively easy, but existing city is relatively difficult challenge. And second question is, yes, AI has already recently begun to spread rapidly at scale, maybe 2 years after the LLM is developed. So in that sense, Japan is, it's clear that Japan is not uniquely advancing in utilizing AI. Alongside many Thailand and the other countries also use AI like Japan. But Japan's advancing point maybe is data center efficiency. We are now developing through the green innovation fund to develop the energy efficiency, energy saving data center with using photonic technology. And we are now developing quantum computing, which is in the future with a dramatically increasing power efficiency. That will be the so I'll be representing. And today's morning session, many speakers are talking about the increased number of AI and the needs for the decarbonization of the data center. So right now the next challenge is the data center siting and data center decarbonization is very important because today's morning session, some speakers said renewable energy is maybe outside the urban area is suitable for the installation of the renewable energy. But in the Bangkok, there's so many people living here. Difficult to supply decarbonizing energy supply. That is the big challenge. So decarbonizing the data center and data center location is very important. So Japan is now facing the same challenge and also try to decarbonize the data center.
So that is the benefits of AI. So we maybe move from the AI, but talk about the new generations of nuclear technology. So Professor Akira, Japan has been exploring that actually it's maybe the full scale of nuclear technology, but we talk about the small scale, we call SMR. So why countries like Thailand or maybe in Japan in the future still we need this technology and what the lessons can be drawn from the Japan for the high full scale of nuclear technology. So can you give the experience of using the nuclear technology or mentions about the applies of SMR in our both country?
Sure thing. So Japan, of course, has very advanced nuclear technology and a long history of operating nuclear power plants. Today, of course, Japan is again discussing the ways of how we can use nuclear power in the context of energy security, decarbonization, and industrial competitiveness. The 7th Strategic Energy Plan of Japan places importance of renewable energy, but it also recognizes the role of nuclear power plants and next-generation reactors in meeting future electricity demand, especially as DX and GX increases demand from data centers, semiconductors, and other industries. Furthermore, Prime Minister Takaichi has highlighted SMR-related investments in the context of Japan-US strategic investments. So this is a $550 billion US dollar investment from Japan to the US on various projects. And in March of 2026, Prime Minister Takaichi went to the US to talk with President Trump and have announced the second batch of products under this. And one of them includes SMR construction in the United States. So things are moving forward, but at the same time, I think there are several lessons from how Japan is dealing with the policies on SMR and nuclear power plants. First, Japan is always pursuing energy security in the context of a balanced energy mix. So this is not just focusing on LNG or just on nuclear power or renewables. We want a good energy mix. Second, SMR should not be treated as automatically cheaper than the larger nuclear power plants. In fact, large reactors usually have economies of scale. And SMRs do have its benefits, but since they are smaller, the cost per unit of electricity may not necessarily be lower, especially for first-of-a-kind projects. Third, Japan still needs to develop detailed safety standards and regulatory approaches for SMRs. Even if SMRs are smaller and may have passively safety measures, they are still nuclear facilities. And safety, security, safeguards, emergency planning, waste management, and public trust remain essential. Fourth, and this goes back to my earlier point about the trade-offs between security, economy, environment, and a social impact. The most realistic use of SMRs in Japan is not to build them really everywhere. Because the societal cost of building new nuclear facilities in Japan is very high. We've had the Fukushima nuclear accident, and that memory is still with us today. So even if technology is promising, social acceptance can be a binding constraint. So in reality, I think what's going to end up happening in Japan is we are having many nuclear power plants that are getting very old. We still have the land for it, so we are probably going to be replacing some of the big old nuclear power plants with these new small modular reactors. So for Thailand, I think the key lesson is this. SMRs may be attractive, but only under the right conditions. They are more advantageous in countries and regions where the land mass is large, the electricity grid is not fully developed, remote communities or industrial sites rely on expensive diesel, or where large nuclear power plants are too big for the grid. So once again, the question that Thailand should ask is not just are SMRs good or bad, it should ask what exactly would SMRs replace? Gas, coal, diesel, grid expansion, renewables, storage, and so on. So to conclude, Japan has technology and industrial capabilities for this, so there may be opportunities for joint development, supply chain cooperation, and export-oriented partnerships. But the domestic deployment lesson for Japan is one of caution. SMRs are not the magic solution.
Thank you. In the point of view of the Ministry of Energy Thailand, so how about can we build up the SMR technology in Thailand, or what is the process of the Ministry of Energy?
SMR is not happening yet in Thailand. SMR small modular reactors, as we learned about that before. And many years ago, we tried to learn about SMR. Regarding SMR, Thailand closely watching Japan leadership. And the key lessons for us is public trust and data transparency. Means for Thailand to consider SMR as state-of-the-art and digital tools to simulate safety scenarios and provide transparent data to the public, so people can feel safe and confident. In Japan, we see three key lessons. First is long-term policy. As we know, nuclear project takes many years, so clear and consistent is very important. Second is public trust. This is why transparency and communications are so important. It's not only for safety, but also for public transparency and public confidence. And the last one is system readiness. These include regulation, skilled workforce, and supply chain. It's because it's all require a complete system to support them. For Thailand, we still in the study and feasibility phase. And we're moving for halfway step by step. And so that, at the same time, we see the potential for SMEs in the future. Today, Thailand already has over 15,000 megawatts of renewable capacity and more than 3,000 megawatts of solar rooftop, which is growing rapidly. So, as we increase renewable energy, especially solar, the system becomes more valuable. That's why we're looking for simultaneism, especially for SMEs to use it's not replace the old one, but to use this is the alternative energy for us and very important for us too. SME could help us by providing stable, low carbon power to support renewables. And it's not about choosing one or another. It is about finding the right balance. So ultimately, SMEs are not just about the technology, as I said. It's about trust, transparency, and openness. Thank you.
Again, the question is out of